right, we're going to start our new unit of measurement. So in your packet, you see this page that's on my screen. This is just giving you a little information. We normally send this home when we start this in class. It's just talking about what our focus is. Our measurement is the size and length or amount of something. We're really going to focus on the lengths of things. We are going to use both standard units of measurement, such as centimeters, inches, feet, yards, and meters. We're also going to use non-standard units of measurement, such as color tiles, which you should cut out. We could use paper clips. We could use our fingers. We could use many different things. The thing that's the most important on non-standard is that they are all the same size. We can't use a small paper clip and a big paper clip and combine them. It would not make sense. Okay. Here's kind of our vocabulary words: units, length, height, estimate, which is a smart guess, and to compare. Okay. You also have this anchor chart that are some tips for measuring. So tip number one is make sure you're using the correct side of the ruler. So I have already cut out my ruler in the paper that I sent to you. And you can see on one side is inches. Okay, they're the bigger numbers and they're a bigger unit of measurement. And then when you flip it over to the other side, you have centimeters. And you can tell centimeters are much smaller than our inches. So when you're measuring, you need to make sure you're measuring with the right side. If we're measuring inches, don't measure in centimeters or it's going to be incorrect, and vice versa. Okay. Tip number two is to line the edge of the object with the end of the ruler on zero. So if I have this bag of M&Ms and I want to measure it, we want to make sure that we go all the way to the edge. Okay. We don't want to measure starting here, okay, because then our measurement would not be correct. We would want to get all the way to the side of our M&Ms. And then tip number three is to find where the object stops. And it's not always going to be exactly to a number. So you can see here, this is a little bit more than 7.5. So we're going to round up to 8. So we're going to say this bag of M&Ms is 8 inches long. Okay. All right. Now, I am just working on trying to get my document camera set up so I can record as I'm measuring. So you're going to have to bear with me as I figure this out to help us learn how to measure. Okay. This is another important anchor chart for you. This tells us all about the different standard units of length. Okay, so length is the measurement or extent of something from one end to the other end. Okay, the greater of two or the greatest of three dimensions of a body. So we're just measuring from one end to another end. Okay, our small unit of length is called inches, and the last joint of your finger. So if you do like this, from this joint to this joint is about 1 inch. Okay. So you can use that if you don't have your ruler. And our thumbs are normally 1 inch across. Okay. Next is a foot, and a foot is 12 inches. So our whole ruler, is 1 foot long. Okay. 12 inches is known as 1 foot. Now, when we get into bigger measurements in the next couple days, we're going to be talking about yards. And yards is when you put 3 feet together. Okay, so 3 rulers lined up side by side. Okay, that make 36 inches because 12 plus 12 is 24 plus 12 more would be 36. So 36 would be a yard. Okay. We're also going to talk about meters when we get to centimeters, okay? And then when you put your yards together, you have 1,760 yards in 1 mile, okay? So this last box here is really, really important for you to come back to. 1 foot is 12 inches. 1 yard equals 3 feet or 36 inches. 1 mile, okay, it is 1,760 yards, which is 5,280 feet, which is 63,360 inches, okay? We have these larger unit of measurements, so we're not having to use as many.